What's up everyone, Madfather here with another backyard baseball video. We lost our first matchup in this final round of the bonus tournament. I only put up 4 runs and gave up 2 to the Expos, and we'll be trying again in game number 2 here. I believe my opponent, Shrewsbury, has already played and submitted his game at this point, so I'll know pretty quickly whether I succeeded or not. Got the file set up right, so Maria has her usual pink boost. Ruth is on a pretty bad day, down to 1 in batting and fielding. Interesting, but still has her speed, so it could be worse. Pujols is on another good day, similar to one he had earlier in this bonus tournament, up to a 10 batting, 7 running. And the Webbers have their usual twin bonus. So main thing I want to change batting order wise, swapping Olga and Ruth, and then I might end up moving Pujols higher in the order. Could even swap him and Maria, really. With this setup, be kind of interesting. Yeah, I can see doing that. I've struggled more so with Maria. Well, I haven't done very well with Albert either, but 10 in batting is something I want to check out here. So we'll get our defense set up real quick as well. We're just going to basically put Ruth and Olga out in the outfield, and Petra right, Olga left, Cliff third base, Sydney shortstop, Ashley catcher, Forrest second base, still leave Pujols at his usual first base for now. We'll shift things around if we really have to. Defensively for the Expos, Debbie is on a good day, up to a 9 in running, so have more range out in the outfield. Colleen's on a bad day, lost some batting and fielding, might make her easier to take advantage of over at second base, and everything else is as normal for these Expos. So let's get right into this one. See if we can at least improve our score, even if we're unable to take down playoff Shrews. Maria on the mound as usual, and Ingrid Dahlman leading off for the Expos. She plays center field for them, and is a clone of Carlos Beltran. I misplayed that one with Petra out in right field, and these Expos start things off quickly with a ground rule double, unfortunately. Ingrid hit that one pretty hard, and it didn't look like Petra was going to be aligned correctly on her own. Well, Albert definitely has an improved arm today, so I might end up shifting him off of first base. I probably should have taken the lead runner at third, or tried to at least, but Debbie pops that one up behind second base, caught by Sydney, and Ingrid was not far enough off the base to double her up, but get up to 2 outs and a runner on third here for Parker Collin. Definitely not my preferred batter to be facing in this situation. We do get him to 0-2 with a couple of hooks. And with his current stance, we're going to try heat inside. It just barely misses inside. Just trying to pick at the corners and get him to do something like that. And Maria makes the play over to Albert. And it's force out, so it didn't matter if Ingrid crossed the plate. She was getting pretty close. So easily could have screwed that one up and given up at least 1 run in that inning, but we do escape. And we'll start things off with Cliff Floyd leading off. Angela Del Vecchio on the mound for these Expos. First pitch, fairly high in the strike zone, but is in the strike zone, especially for Cliff's larger strike zone in general. 2 strikes, gonna choke up effectively and switch to a grounder swing. Do make contact. Jarek kind of misjudges it, but fields it pretty well. But with a little sprinting, we got Cliff to first successfully. Olga up, since she swapped with Ruth in this one. I don't know why I sent Cliff on a steal there, honestly. Oh, I should have kept him going. Heidi kind of threw it past second base, and I turned Cliff around again and just barely slide in under the throwback in from Ingrid, but everything pretty well worked out. And Olga hits a ground ball that Angela takes too long to field. And suddenly we have runners on first and second, no outs for Petra. Which is about the situations we are trying to manufacture with this team. Ooh, nice pitch to hit on that outside part of the strike zone, but Petra fouls that one off. That one is going to stay up and be called a strike. Strike number 2. Petra hits that one high and deep and out of here. Home run. Kind of an ugly one. Was a squared stance, but she popped it up towards right and did not go very far at all, under 300 feet, but it went really high in the air and traveled just far enough past right field for a home run. So that'll clear the bases ahead of Albert Pujols and give us a 3-0 lead already. Angela with a nice hook low in the strike zone for strike number 1. Comes outside with a nice pitch to hit, but Pujols just fouls it off. 2 strikes, gonna try to switch to a line drive here. Dang it. Yeah, it's one of those I probably need to be swinging at with 2 strikes, but thought it was gonna go low, and you hate to whiff at those. Nice sequence of pitches from Angela there, basically. Sydney up at the plate now. Angela threw it outside. I was looking inside. I'm just trying to pull it. Ooh, that was a bad one to foul off. Really needed to pull that one like we wanted. Sydney. Oh, I really thought she beat that one out, but freaking Derek Jeter over at shortstop making the play. And Ashley might end up doing about the same thing, but I'm going to try to pull a grounder closer to Ronnie, or preferably hit it hard enough to just get it past everyone. Go to 1-1 the count after pitch below the strike zone and a pitch on the outside that I wasn't willing to swing at. Is Angela going to get to that one? Yes. Ashley popped it in the air despite the grounder swing. And so after the first 2 batters got on and Petra homered, the next 3 all got out. So we'll be leading off with Maria next inning. Not the worst situation, but need to put up some more runs, I think. And continue to at least get lucky enough to not allow runs. Ellie Vargas is up for the Expos here. It's a hard ground ball, but Maria actually goes back off the pitcher's mound to field it and easily throws it over to Albert for the first out. Angela up at the plate now for the Expos. And crushes it. Alright, well, I tried a slow ball, but it was low and inside. Thought that would be a good enough location, but Angela is angry at having given up a home run, and crushes that. Ronnie Dobbs up next for these Expos. Could definitely do the same thing, but he lines it into the hole towards Sydney. Bounces off Sydney, but Horace is over to cover from second base and makes a strong throw to Albert for the second out. And we'll have Colleen Clinker up now. On a bad day, so hopefully not too much to worry about. She actually might have been down all the way to a 1 in batting. Not sure, but she actually is going to reach safely. Took Cliff a little too long on his throw and pulled Albert off the base. So we do have a runner on, and Heidi Thurman up at the plate. Obviously not the biggest offensive threat. Hit that one pretty dang hard. Thankfully foul. And Petra would not have gotten there very quickly, and that could have easily been a ground rule double. Expos seem to have the read on Maria's slow balls so far, but I'm trying to save her stamina at least a little bit, especially as she is leading off next inning. We get a strikeout of Heidi there, and that will end the top of the second with the solo home run from Angela, the only run that the Expos score. And as mentioned, we've got Maria leading off, facing Angela here in the bottom of the second. Maria goes opposite field with that supposedly line drive swing. Bounces off Parker in left field, but he makes the catch on his second attempt, unfortunately. I don't know that Maria can really ground ball anything anyways. This one way too early at that heat with Horace. Angela's heat is not as fast as I thought it would be. Horace hits that ball hard, and it gets past Ronnie, trying to cover at third. Parker, not a great arm out in left field, and that will give Horace, despite falling down, rounding first base, enough time to come in safely with a double. And that will hopefully just allow Ruth to reach first pretty easily, as long as she can make contact. Just barely missed that slow-mo. I'm sure Ruth's contact rating is way down. That one, I think, is just above the strike zone. Yep. Kind of lost its sound there, too. I don't know if that's like a giveaway that it's a ball, or... Angela, probably a little low on juice after both of those, and a little wild. But finds strike zone with her fourth pitch, and it is now 2-2. Ruth just barely gets a piece of it, and it takes Heidi too long to make a throw to first. She was actually going for first, which I was somewhat surprised by. I don't know quite the best approach here, but we're going to try to power it with Cliff. Nope, that didn't work. No, not going to be a great situation to try to get anyone across home here. Basically going to be trying to get lucky with wherever Olga decides to hit this line drive. Or take some pitches and get walked would also work. Yeah, it's strike. Barely. Nice pitch from Angela. 1-1 the count. That one was just high for ball 2. Inside for ball 3. This one's going to be a strike, and we're going to take it just to try to prolong the at-bat. And we got Angela to be wild enough to walk Olga. The bases loaded for Petra would have been huge to make contact with that slow-mo earlier to have a power-up for her here, but last time out she had a home run, and she is definitely capable of doing that again. Crushes that one towards center field. It might get stopped by... Nope! Grand slam! It clears the screen. Petra's second home run at the game. Huge there with 2 outs, and with how tough it was just to get some runners on base. Some of our better hitters kind of failed in this situation, but Petra comes through huge there like she has for most of the season, and it's up to 2 home runs and 7 RBIs on the day now. Taking the pressure off for Pujols here. But with 2 outs in the inning anyways, I think I'm just gonna try a power swing. That one's gonna be a strike, but pretty low in the strike zone. Not quite what I want to swing at. There we go. Pujols with a closed stance crushes it towards left field. Tell the defense pretty scared of him with how far back they're playing, and he proves it there. Less fanfare than Petra's grand slam, obviously, but nice 500-foot shot towards left field. Really pulled the ball from that closed stance, but we will definitely take that. And we've got Sydney up now with an 8-1 lead so far. They're still leaving Angela in the game despite having crossed that 5 runs allowed threshold. And I would think would be pretty dang tired too. Sydney makes good contact, and it is not easily fielded by Ronnie or Derek. And that gave her plenty of time to mosey on to first base. I think we're just gonna try the same thing with Ashley here. If all stays fair, Sydney has just enough to get to second. So we put 2 more runners on in this inning that I thought might have been dead in the water for a minute there. And have Maria up to try to continue our success. She actually led off this inning, I believe. Angela's still going, up to 40 pitches. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Alright, now we get a swap. So Angela's going to be out in right field. I don't know that I trust myself enough to really try to take advantage of that. If I could just get a nice line drive from Maria out to right, that would probably score everyone. Also have 3 straight balls thrown to Maria here, so we're going to take this pitch just to see. So we do have Horace up next, and we're pretty happy with him. Maria hits a slow-mo really hard, but not out of the park, and just caught by Ingrid Dahlman in center field. Very frustrating there. I guess I would have had time to switch to line drive, and maybe could have made that work. I don't know. It's a good hit from Maria. If it had gone further to right or left along the foul lines, it probably would have been out, but just had a lot of kind of warning track shots like that. So unfortunately couldn't add even more runs and pick up a power-up. That also would have been very valuable. But we put 5 more on the board. Yeah. And take an 8-1 lead here into the top of the 3rd inning. And Expos have batted all the way back around to their leadoff batter for the game, Ingrid. Doubled her first time up, but goes down on strikes this time. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to work on taking advantage of Angela out in right field, and I get another chance. Derek Jeter up now for the Expos, and watches a right hook go by for strike 1. Watches a left hook go by for strike 2 with an 0-2 count and him in open stance. Tried to get him to chase a high and away heat, but it goes outside the strike zone for ball 1. Derek not wanting to swing at strikes either in this case, and watches a slow ball go by for strike 3 as Maria chalks up her second strikeout in a row. Also notably, we pick up a more juice from that one.
Check it out, I'm pitching.
Definitely my favorite of the pitching power-ups. Don't tend to use the power-up pitches. Yeah, Debbie hit that ball pretty hard, and Sydney had already kind of misplayed it before I had any chance to try to cover. So it is a single allowed to Debbie there, especially with her boosted speed today. Yeah, just didn't have a whole lot of hope there. She is not tired enough from pitching just yet, but hopefully we'll get there at some point. Bet she slows down. Oh my gosh, Parker. That was just mean. Crushes that hook. Not a bad pitch, I don't think, on the high and inside corner, but yeah, that one's many hundreds of feet. 528 feet down the left field line. Yikes. Alright. Man, I'm trying to mix up pitches, mix up locations. I don't know. Maybe none of it matters. Maybe I'm just don't quite have what it takes on the pitching side. I feel better about giving up runs to this team than like the Angels, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna pop this juice while Maria's not up again for a while at least, but might be able to pick up another strikeout and have another chance at more juice. Nope. Alright, Hillary grounds it. Maria is able to make the play. We do get out of there, thankfully, but not for a potentially very damaging 2 runs allowed to the AI there. I think we're going to be trying to chill in close stance, well, with righties, of course, and hit the ball to Angela as much as possible. Should still be pretty tired from her time on the mound, on top of just not being a good fielder to begin with. So far, Debbie is just not finding the strike zone. Does with her third pitch, but still 2-1 count, so just wait on something outside. Don't get it there, so gonna just have to swing at any strike. No one was, but Forrest just fouls it back behind the plate. Hanging in there at 2-2 the count. Hits that ball hard down the left field line, but just barely lands foul. Get away from Ronnie at third, and can take Parker a while to chase down, so would have been a good one. Horace does hit it mostly where we wanted him to, but it doesn't matter because it's out of the park. Angela couldn't do anything to get to that one anyways. Ingrid made a good effort, but could not quite scale the wall. So we end up with a short 333-foot home run on that line drive swing from Horace. And another run on the board, up to 9-3. Living and dying by the home run so far. Ruth back up to plate, again on her bad day, so down to 1 in batting is the main issue. It's pretty good contact there, though, and plenty of time to make it to first before Ronnie can gather and throw the ball. So she reaches once again with a single. Cliff up. We're going to attempt to pull this one towards right. That one stays too close to the middle of the field, but does land where we're pretty easily able to, or well, Colleen at second tried to get out there, but it just bounced off her, and then there was nobody to cover second. Brings up Olga with 2 runners on once again, so we're going to have to try to make something happen. Or just whiff at a pitch that was on the inside part of the strike zone, and she was in a closed stance, so not too surprising. Debbie giving her some tough pitches to try to push towards right field. That was what we were looking for earlier in the at-bat, but now we're just going grounder and trying to make contact in general. Wow, Derek did not touch second base, tried to make a throw to third, but it bounced off Ronnie, and we end up with bases loaded for Petra once again. Once again, would love to have a power-up here, but we'll just try to do it the old-fashioned way for the 3rd time in a row. Debbie not cooperating so far. Throws 2 above the strike zone. 2-0 count. That's a strike, but low in the strike zone. Not quite what we want to be swinging at. That one was, though, and Petra did it again. If that ball stays fair, and it does. 2nd grand slam of the night for Petra Chekhov, combined with a 3-run home run. She has now driven in 11 of the 13 runs we have scored in this one. Amazing. Petra has been the best 9th round pick guy could ask for. I was pretty close to trying to change my pick after it was made, and I am very glad that I was both not able to continue to waffle on my decision, but even in this power-up rules environment, Petra in the 9th has been an amazing value for this team. And probably never had his performance quite as good as this one, with no boost and no power-up so far, just crushing the baseball. Pujols singles out of the way, and then Sydney grounds into a fielder's choice, getting Albert out at second. Yeah, I need to be trying to push these line drives out into the outfield, especially now that Debbie and Ingrid have swapped. So theoretically, 2 pretty tired outfielders in center and right field. So Sydney on first, Ashley up, 1-1 the count, and 1 out in the inning. It'll be 1-2 now, and I'm going to have to get more aggressive at swinging. Fortunately, another fielder's choice there on one that wasn't quite as much of a line drive as I had been hoping. Jeter, I think Jeter basically kept it in the infield, and then Colleen made the play at second. Maria hits that one hard on a line out into right. We got Ashley all the way around on a RBI double from Maria. Took Heidi just long enough to come out and get the ball, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. Almost made the play to Ingrid there. Yeah, got a little greedy on a pitch that was located horizontally where I wanted it, but vertically below the strike zone. But Ingrid missed there again, so we're at 1-1 now. Horace pops that one up right where I want him to, but Angela makes the catch anyways. Popped it too high up in the air. I was kind of looking for more of an actual line drive. But we put a grand slam and then a couple more runs on the board there. and are up to a 14-3 lead now. Hard to feel too bad about that, but really want to score some more if possible, and stop giving them up to these dang Expos batters. Shouldn't be much trouble on Angela's little grounder to Maria there, and it was not. Bringing up Ronnie Dobbs. How many of this Expos team is largely, oh, no, maybe not even largely, but got a couple backyard kids and a couple clones, Jeter himself, but still simple generics too. Just always feels like they have a ton of backyard kids, but I guess I have quite a few for myself too. With Maria and the Webbers. Ronnie Dobbs, always a little bit scary to face at the plate. He's got a lot of power in his small frame. This time, though, he goes down on 3 pitches for Maria's 4th strikeout of the game. Brings us to 2 outs in the inning, and Colleen Klinker at the plate. Doubled her first time up. This time she hits a little grounder to Cliff, who was able to mostly make the throw across the diamond and retire her. Oops. Got one of my cats hiding under my desk. I'm trying not to kick him. Alright, we've got Ruth leading off here in the bottom of the 4th. Sorry, just making some water and needed to try to pause. Yeah, it's too late though. So strike 1 on Ruth, unfortunately. Me just not being ready. I don't think that pitch was a strike, but it was perfectly located for Ruth to do that. Oh, nice catch from Vargas over at first. I thought that might get above her head. But Ruth on with her 3rd single, despite the bad day. And Cliff is going to try to pull this ball towards right. Steady hits it short. Ingrid is able to field it, but not particularly quickly, and everyone reaches safely there. So it's back to trying to put something together with Olga up and 2 runners on already. Ingrid misses high with her first pitch. 1-0. Olga grounds it back to Ingrid. Ingrid flubs it initially, and that gives everyone time to reach base safely. Base is loaded. Petra Chekhov up. Nobody out. Stop me if you've heard this one before. I'll take that pitch. It is a strike, but tough one to line up for good contact. And that one is a strike too. Low in the strike zone. Down to 0-2 quickly. That one does miss high, so now 1-2. Misses way low, bouncing off the plate basically. 2-2. Which basically had to swing at that one. It is going to get past Ronnie and sneak out into left field. And with our solid speed on the bases, we end up with a 2 RBI single from Petra. Not quite her grand slams, but still solid result on a hard hit ground ball that Ronnie couldn't quite field at 3rd. I think that one was out of the strike zone, but looked like I could get all of it with Pujols, and I do, barely. Clears the fence in right center field. Scores 3 more to put us up 19-3. And looking pretty good to have swapped him and Maria in the lineup in this one. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. thanks to his good day, especially, I think. But we're going to have Ingrid and Ronnie Dobbs switch now.
We want a batter, not a broken ladder. Nice catch, kiddo.
Sydney with a hard hit ground ball towards Derek Jeter. Takes him just a second to get to the ball, and then he actually ends up bouncing it off Hillary at first.
I'm gonna bet on
Sydney was already safely at first regardless, though.
We want a batter, not a
So
broken
a single for her.
We want a batter, not a broken ladder.
Ashley makes solid contact, but it's fielded well enough by Ingrid to get Sydney trying to advance to second. This probably just needed to be line drives towards the right instead. Ingrid seems to still have a pretty solid arm, even being tired right now. Ooh, nasty heat from Ronnie, just catching the inside corner against Malia. I guess I need to be sprinting with Ashley. I thought she had plenty of time to get to second, but she gets thrown out by Colleen. My bad there, I guess. Horace Young now at the plate. Now 2 outs in the inning after back-to-back fielders' choices, and Maria is currently at first. Horace is going to pretty quickly go down to 0-2 in the count. Fouls off a couple as well. Still sitting at 0-2. Horace get all that? I don't think so. And Debbie does get over from center field. Does not seem to be very tired anymore. Well hit ball and out towards Angela, but Debbie showing enough range to make that strategy seem like it wouldn't have been working this whole time anyways. Kind of surprised to not be able to put up any more runs there, but definitely did some damage that inning from Petra and Albert. And we will be back at the bottom of our lineup with Ruth once again in this inning. We've led off with her a few times now. Heidi at the plate. Maria induces a weak ground ball back right to Maria. Easy throw over to Pujols to get the first out of the inning. And now we're back at the top of this Expos lineup with Ingrid Dahlman. Ingrid tries to bunt and is easily thrown out. And I'll bring up Derek Jeter, who I'm very afraid of. Doesn't have like the most power, but high power and high contact. It's a good line drive hitter, in my opinion and experience. Also able to fight off a pitch, stay in this at bat at 0-2. Watch a straight through go by for the second straight at bat. We're up to 5 strikeouts on the game and has settled down these last 2 innings. No more runs allowed. I don't think any more hits since that 3rd inning. And as mentioned, we've got Ruth up here. Ruth makes weak enough contact that Derek and Ingrid at third both try to go for it, but that gives her plenty of time to reach first safely. Cliff is going to once again try to pull the ball. Instead, it's going to hit a pretty weak ground ball that Ronnie fields, but does not successfully throw anywhere in time. So another single for Cliff, and once again in this weird spot with Olga up and 2 runners already on base. Pops it up this time, I think. Yeah, it's just going to get called an infield fly. Kind of unfortunate that she couldn't keep that ball on the ground or close to it. Only 2 runners on and 1 out already for Petra this time. Oh, that one's going to get called an infield fly too. I thought I got the switch stance and swing in time, but Ronnie's heat has been playing with my timing a little bit. It's a fast fastball relative to some of these other folks that I've been facing. Howard's going to hit a weak ground ball, but takes both Ronnie and Heidi behind the plate way too long to get to the ball. It's kind of away with the single there. Not a well hit ball at all. Ronnie with a good pitch, high and outside for strike 1. Actually should have been swinging at it. Gave me a second chance, and I swung at that one. Out towards Angela and right. She makes the catch. Man, Angela should not be able to catch all these. Big cat hiding under my feet again, too. Alright, so if I can shut them down here, which is not a given with who's up, Debbie, Parker, and Hillary to start things off. But if we can shut them down, 16-run victory is not too shabby.
Remember that time you made fun of my dress? Well, now
It's been a while since game 1. I don't actually remember if that would have been enough in game 1. Debbie crushes it off the center field wall. Ruth was doing something weird out in center field. Is she just really tired? No? I don't know what she was doing or why I was having so much trouble there, but not a great situation now with Parker up. Crushed a home run already this game. Debbie's a little scary to have on base right now, too. Really nice hook from Maria there for strike 2. Just caught the bottom of the strike zone. Parker hits that one hard, but foul. Could just try to launch a fireball in there. Alright. Pick up a strikeout. I knew we already had more juice saved up. I think we used up and got back the fireball. Don't plan on using it again, but I think Parker was the one to be most afraid of in this situation, but Hillary can hit the ball well as well. And hits the ball well enough to get on base, thanks to an error from Sydney at shortstop. She did well just to get to the ball, but got players falling all over the place. Hillary on first, Debbie at third. I'm going to be trying to come home if it comes to that here. Guess another option would just be to try to pick up a double play, but we will also accept Angela going down on strikes. A bunch of hooks seem to fool her there. Maria once again picks up a more juice if we need it. Ronnie takes a hook inside for strike 1. Shifts over for that one. Makes contact out towards Olga and left. Oh, Olga was not lined up properly. I thought she was. It was super hard to tell on that one. And Ronnie picks up a ground rule double. Expos score another. It's going to be frustrating if that ends up making a difference in this one. That one seemed more preventable than some of these others. Go ahead and try a fireball. Pick up a strikeout. Nope, Maria missed. Be unlikely to hit this time too, but try. Alright, pick up a strikeout to finish things off. So struggled defensively against these Expos, but turned things around at least somewhat on offense. Had a few kind of rushed at bats towards the end there where wish I could have put some more runs on the board. Had some chances in that 5th inning, but not too bad overall. Turned things around from a rough game 1 to at least have a respectable game 2 there. Definitely player of the game, obviously Petra. Yeah, no one else is particularly close. Albert did pretty well too though. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks to everyone for